Hi, I'm ready to go. I'm going to show you all about pasta. So because Stanley's filming me, I'm going to make Alfredo sauce, as well as our red sauce that we're going to make in school, and the pasta. So I wanted to show you that I will have these available: crushed red pepper, bay leaves, thyme, and oregano that you can put additionally into your red sauce. I lucked out. I have some pre-cooked Italian sausage from the freezer, so we'll be having that with our sauce. Got our sauce. We have a red spatula and spoon to go with the sauce, and I have got my small pots. We're going to go ahead for the team pasta. We're going to walk our lid around, get that off, take our red spatula, get all that yummy goodness, because there's a lot of oil on the top, directly into this. Don't do this on top of your stove. Do this on your countertop. I'm just doing it because I have a different type of stove. Yours, with those goofy burners, you don't want to get stuff on there. Notice how I kind of held my spatula there so it doesn't splatter. As you get older, you learn how not to splatter so much. So do this on your countertop. Get all of that yummy goodness out of there. And you will have a lot of your spices and things towards the bottom, so you want to get all of that out of there. Do not throw this away. This is what you're going to put your sauce back into. So you can give that a wash if you want, or just leave it off to the side. It doesn't matter. Actually, don't even bother washing it. So you're going to use that again. You're going to give this a stir because you want that to mix together, all that yummy goodness. And it won't come together until it's completely cooked. Get that off of your spatula. Your fingers are clean. And then go ahead, start with your lid on. Turn your front burner on. About 7 or 8, so we can get it to a medium boil. So turn it on to 7 or 8, leave your lid on, have your hot pad close by, because as you lift it off, you're going to notice you will need a hot pad. This is going to become really hot, and then you're going to stir it occasionally. And so you're going to want, well, it won't matter, but with my white countertops, I like to have something nearby. So make sure that you've got that ready. So that's how you're going to do your sauce. Easy breezy. Come on over here, Stanley. I showed them that 16 really nice pans that we have at school. Fill to the 16. And then go ahead and use hot water. Fill up to the number 16. Turn your burner on high. Turn your burner on high, right to front, on high, or whichever burner, but usually your front one. Add your 1 tablespoon of salt. This may have been done for you already by the previous students before you, or by myself. 1 tablespoon of salt, because remember, this is when you flavor your water. We're going to put our lid on so we can get it to a rapid rolling boil. So while we work on that, we're just going to put this on pause. Okay, just in case we ever end up doing Alfredo as well, I wanted to show you that we have 2 ounces of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter, and I also am going to place in 1 16-ounce container of heavy whipping cream, or we might, if we were to do it, cut that in half. We're going to melt those down, and then to that we would add, we have salt, pepper, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning, and then towards the end you whisk in your Parmesan cheese, and that's how you make yummy, wonderful Alfredo sauce. So I'm going to make that today because that's how we make that rosé sauce. Let's take a peek and see where we're at with our starting to bubble. So I am going to give that a little stir. It's really bubbling. Then I need to be careful and use 2 hands and have Stanley film, because then I need to be lifting the lid and stirring and making sure it doesn't bubble at me. So this is going to start looking like more together and less where the oil is separating out. So our red sauce is looking good, and we can add our bay leaf, etc. So your job's to get it started and then come back and you can add a little bit to it if you like. You can kind of hear that we're getting somewhere with our water, but it definitely is not boiling yet. All right, we can see that our pasta is really bubbling, and we don't want it so hot when we leave today, day 1. So what I'm going to do now is it's a little fuller because I have the meat and stuff in there, is that I'm going to turn my sauce off. And I'm going to remove my spoon. So it's been bubbling and boiling at a low boil for a while. I'm going to remove it with my hot pad. I have planned my move. I've got my hot pads over here on my counter. And I'm going to take it over here. And then I'm going to take my lid off. And I'm going to continuously stir this, no lid. And I'm going to get it to cool. And in fact, I'm going to give you a different container to cool it down. I'm trying to think of what container we have. I think, actually, hold the phone, Stanley, really quickly. I will give them this container. I'm going to give you guys this container to continuously stir it and cool it down, and put a couple ice cubes in there so you cool it down. So that way you can put it back into here. Okay, so that's it for your sauce, day 1. So I want you to see Alfredo sticking nicely. All it is I melted the cream cheese and butter and the cream, and then I added my seasonings and my cup of Parmesan and letting it get thick. I'm going to turn that off and move it off of the heat. And now I noticed that and that looks nice, it'll thicken too. We're at a nice high rolling boil. Was at a higher one there. We're going to take our bag of pasta. I want you to see this. There. Going to open that, untape it, right? Take your scissors, cut across here. Don't be a ding-ding. Cut across there neatly. Do not drop your bag of pasta. You drop it, oh well, I guess you don't eat pasta. Okay? Hang on to it with your hand. Lift your lid with your oven mitt or hot pad. Rolling boil. Roll, 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 roll. Carefully shake it in there so you don't hurt yourself. Put that down so you don't start on fire. And within 30 seconds, you need to be stirring that. Now that seems like that's a lot of water. So if it seems a little bit much, maybe we'll take it down a notch. But we do need a lot of water. Remember, that's the only way for that to cook evenly and not stick. So we're giving it a stir. Put our lid back on, and we're going to keep it on high till it returns to a boil. Once it returns to that boil, then we're going to set our timer. Got it? Very quickly we came to a boil and did spill over a bit. So Miss I would have been getting docked some points. So I'd say instead of putting your lid back on at this point, you should have just kept your eye on it. So no lid back on. Miss I would have been losing some points. So come back to a rapid boil. You're going to put your spoon across it because then it's not going to boil over. So Miss I didn't listen to her own instructions, like she said the other day, to always have that on top and not put your lid on top. So that's what she should have done. And if you need to, then you come back and your spoon is nice and long, longer than mine. Grab the handle that's not hot. Give it a stir, not very often, but you know, every few minutes. Now we're going to set our timer. Do timer, and then we're going to start with 13 minutes. Let's do 14 because it's 13 to 15. So let's do 14 and see where it's at after that time. So if you need to turn it down from high because it's getting too out of control, turn it down. Common sense, okay? Spoon on top. All right, so we have 5 minutes left, and I just wanted to point out to you I had no boil over, so that spoon trick really works. So don't be Miss I and put the lid back on, thinking you need to do that to get it to boil. It comes back to a boil pretty quickly. And I've kept it on high the whole time, and it never has boiled over, so that spoon trick really does work. I do stir it occasionally so it doesn't stick to the bottom, and then I tap it off and put it back on top, and then it does not boil over. Pretty slick, huh? All right, we'll come back to that at the end of the 4 minutes here and see what we've got for taste, al dente or not.